This is James back here, Homeless Lives Matter YouTube channel. I'm in Pasadena, California right now. I met up with a man who I had been following his YouTube channel for quite a while, and his vlogging of his homelessness and how he tells his story. He gets his frustrations out and lets the world know what he thinks and how he feels about homelessness. Sometimes it doesn't sound so good, but most of the time he keeps a positive attitude, and most of the time he's got a great message. And a lot of people need to hear his message. He has his own blog on YouTube, and we're going to learn from him how to find that vlog. And we're going to learn a little bit more about Charlie, a little bit more about his bout with homelessness, just over 3 years, and some good fortune he's had. And here he is. This is Charlie.
Hi.
So Charlie, tell us a little bit about what's been going on with your experience with homelessness here.
Not very good. I ended up being homeless through a separation and a bad divorce, and I ended up getting, I guess, a short end of the stick. But I've been homeless now for almost 3 years. Been trying to find a job, but it was impossible getting a job. I would do odd jobs, mainly working for under the table. But finally, just this last December, I got a full-time job, and I'm working full-time, but you know, I can say I'm full-time employed, but I'm homeless still. I'm still living on the street. I still go to the bushes when I get off work at 11:30 midnight, go into the bushes, get my trash bag that's filled with my blankets, go to my spot, unfurl my blankets, and sleep there for about 3-4 hours, get up at 5:30 in the morning and start all over the day.
Now you have a safe place where you go sleep, right? Where
It's
you
pretty.
You feel pretty comfortable?
It's pretty safe, and I have a deal with the property manager. As long as I get up by a certain time in the morning every day, unseen, I can stay there, clean up my mess, and have no problems, and kind of police the property a little bit. But
that's important when you're out there and you're staying somewhere on the streets or anywhere, even if you don't have permission, keeping the area clean and neat, so that way it's not a problem.
It is. It's kind of like an unspoken rule, but clean up after yourself, be unseen, and things should be okay.
And you see a lot of places where people are camped, like at the tented encampments and under the overpasses and beside the roads where they're not keeping it clean.
Right.
And a lot of stuff piled up, and it creates not only complaints, but it draws rodents and it draws bugs, and it's not safe or healthy for the people that are out there like that.
Right, you know, and that's where you get into the whole hepatitis A.
That's a bad thing here, I hear.
When we had that breakout in the early summertime, I went straight away and got my hepatitis shot.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to catch that, you know. It's just, look, being homeless is hard enough, especially here in Pasadena. Being homeless in Pasadena, but don't look the part. Do your best not to look. It's not the easiest thing, but I guess if you were to look at me, if we were to walk down the street,
I wouldn't know it. Yeah.
I try not to carry the attitude. I try not to dress.
Yeah.
Most of my friends do the same thing. We know it's difficult to be homeless, but we don't want to look the part.
What are the major hurdles that people that are living on the streets here in Pasadena or Los Angeles, the major hurdles that they have, the hard things that makes it, you know, the things that makes it tough for them to regain a foothold or to get their life together or find the job? What are the hardest things that you see?
Public facilities to clean up after oneself, to be able to look presentable, to look for a job, maybe to find a roommate situation. a place to clean yourself up for a homeless person is one of the most hardest things.
Yeah.
Most places will say, they'll have signs on the window that says no public restrooms when they actually do, but it's only for paying customers. And it's a hard thing. Some homeless people just want to go in there, use it for a couple of minutes and leave. Some don't really like to obey the rules and will complicate things.
Right. Yeah.
But I think facilities is the hardest thing for homeless people, for us homeless people.
Well, what about, like we talked about a little bit about carrying your things around with you?
Storage is a hard thing. That's why you see a lot of people pulling their suitcases and shopping bags, because there's no safe place to put your property. And oh yeah, why don't you just go get a storage facility? Well, yeah, I don't have $65 to store things
Right.
a month. And
How many times did you tell me that you had your bag stolen?
about 3 times. I had 2 phones stolen. I was beat up within an inch of my life last January.
Yeah, you were showing me pictures of that. You're lucky to be alive.
Almost 3 years ago, I was stabbed in the stomach by another homeless person. We got into a fight in the bathroom, and he stabbed me. And yeah, it's theft in the homeless community is a big problem.
Yeah, they victimize each other pretty much.
There are those homeless people. There are homeless people that like to victimize other homeless people by stealing their property, their backpacks, because for what little homeless people have, they have electronics. Some have laptops, some have cell phones, and it's an opportunity.
Do you ever feel like, not the people that you know, but others, do you ever feel like a little threatened or animosity, or people get jealous because they see you have things? And
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of singled out, because, well, I showed you what I have.
right.
I'm kind of singled out because I work very hard for what little I have, and what I have is important to me.
Yeah.
In what I do.
That's
and
your connection to the world.
It is my connection to my world, and it's hopefully a connection to one day with my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, so but yeah, I get targeted and I get
Yeah,
picked on quite a bit.
we talked a little bit about our similarities of relationship problems and missing our daughters, and it's tough. And your daughter is younger than mine. Mine's older now, and she's still, it's not good.
Oh, it's not.
So I can definitely sympathize with what you go through with that.
And I miss her dearly. She was my best friend. We did everything together. Our favorite show was SpongeBob SquarePants. So yeah, but it's hard being out here. Like I said, I'm full-time employed, and I still come back to the streets to sleep, with the exception of sometimes, maybe a couple of times, get a room at a motel.
And they're expensive here.
Here in Pasadena, it's very expensive. You're lucky to get a room for maybe $129 a night.
Wow.
And I know people just say, well, why don't you, when you get your food stamps or whatever, why don't you just get a room? It's because it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
It costs a lot.
Yeah, it's. That's why I'm sleeping in my car here, because I'm saving money so I can get out of here whenever it's time for me to leave, or I'll be trapped here. Like a lot of people that come here with celebrity dreams and they get trapped here. There's no way out.
And the difficult thing is when you hear a lot of people, just get a job, go do something. It's not that easy. Like I said, for having facilities, how is one to get a job when they're dirty, mangy looking, they have no clothes? That's an obstacle.
Now, we talked a little bit about organizations that are out there to help, and some organizations that we kind of question the help that they provide.
Mm-hmm.
Where you said you gained experience doing video and doing production for an organization.
Yes, I was working for an organization for about 2 years, and I got to see the insights of nonprofit organizations, how they work, how they're, when they say that 100% of the money that they take in goes back 100% out to the community.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
Right. When you see that the person that's running it, you know, is driving a new car and they're living in a new house, or they got a nice place to live and they're not having problems.
Well, they're not working, they're not employed.
Yeah, that's their job. Running
Their job
running
is their organization. So every organization has an overhead. It costs money.
So for how long was it that you did video and production for the events?
For about 2 years.
2 years.
And that other channel that I created on YouTube is still up on YouTube.
And now I asked you, I said, in that whole 2 years, he valued your work and was sure to contact you when he needed you.
Yes.
Did he ever say, Charlie, I got a couch for you to sleep on tonight, or I got a room for you, let me help you out since you're doing such a great job? Or no?
No. Maybe once in a while he would buy me lunch, but that was it, really.
But if he had done that, that could have been a huge plus.
Yeah.
A huge step to help you.
There were a lot of empty promises. He said that he was going to give me his old car, and he was going to get me a place to stay, but that never happened. That never transpired. And no. I feel more victimized than anything.
Yeah.
You know, because of that. Because he just used me.
And these are the things that a lot of, not only with organizations like that, but I know in Florida there are people that'll go out and target and find people that are homeless and say, hey, can you do painting? Can you do drywall? Can you do concrete? And get them and take them to work for a couple days, promise to pay them, and then ditch them and not even pay them.
Yeah.
Do you hear about that kind of stuff happening?
That's happened quite a bit. I've seen and I've experienced that. Yes, quite a bit. And it's so wrong. It's unfair. It's unfair because you're telling this homeless person that they're going to get paid or they're going to get some sort of great reward, and nothing happens.
Right.
Nothing happens, and it just makes that person more embittered.
Yeah.
Making them give up even more. So they're going to stay permanently homeless. Because they don't trust society anymore.
Right.
How are they supposed to have faith in humanity?
People that are out there watching this, who may work with the homeless, who may assist the homeless or give things, you know, what kind of message would you tell them? What would you tell them to help them to pay attention a little more, or to you know, really make sure that their help goes a long way?
I would say also, don't just give them a bottle of water. Don't just give them some socks or a brown bag of goodies like a sandwich. Or if you really want to help, and if it's someone, because I know some people have a homeless favorite person that they see every day.
Right.
Find some resources. You know what? I was looking up and I found this. If you go over here, maybe they'll help you, or I know someone, take a ride with me, or go over here with me, or meet me over here, and we'll get you started.
Yeah.
It sometimes seems some of the people in the private sector, private citizens, help more with the homeless community than corporations or nonprofits do. Mm-hmm. And I've seen...
Well, private people are doing it out of kindness of their heart, and it's costing them. Corporations and businesses are doing it, and they're receiving tax credits and tax write-offs in return.
Yeah.
So, you know, is the corporation benefiting?
More so
than the private individual that's doing it out of their kindness of their heart.
Because they're doing it out of compassion. They're
Right.
doing it out of dollar signs. You know. So yeah, this whole homeless thing is just. I wouldn't wish being homeless on my worst enemy. It's the hardest thing to be doing in your life.
Yeah.
People don't choose to be homeless. Maybe some do, but for the most part, like I say, homelessness is no longer a paycheck away. It's a life event away. A death in the family, a loss of a job, a loss of a loved one. You have to take care of a family member, and then you're financially broke.
And it takes a lot more than that one paycheck to recover from it too.
That's
for sure.
I make a good living right now for me. Yeah. But I can't find a place.
Well, the cost of living here and the cost of rent. What did you say? The requirement to get into an apartment here is...
The rule of thumb, the unspoken rule of thumb here in Pasadena is you need to be making 3 times the amount of your wages that of what rent is that you're going to get for. So if you're renting an apartment for $1,200, you need to be making at least 3 times of that a month.
Who makes that?
Certainly not here.
Yeah, right.
And utilities here in Pasadena aren't any cheaper, so yeah, it's difficult. It's very difficult. And there's no way you could have enough jobs to be able to move into a decent place here.
Some people are juggling 2 and 3 jobs, you know, to afford to live in a building.
Yeah, and I know people like that, and I see how very unhappy they are.
Yeah.
Very unhappy. So their quality of life is no good. Probably not even any better than mine. My difference is I just don't have 4 walls and a roof. They do, and they're just as unhappy as I am.
That is true.
That is very, very bad.
Well, thanks for meeting up with me tonight.
No
thanks
problem.
for talking to me. And,
sure.
And I hope that some of the information that Charlie has shared here gives you a little insight on what a person goes through and what he's personally going through with his battle of homelessness. Even people that are working, there are people that are living in their cars that are working and working full-time jobs, sleeping in their cars out here. There's people out here that are struggling because they thought that doing rideshare, Uber and Lyft was going to make them money, living in the cars that they leased through Uber and Lyft, and that's crazy. That's crazy. This should not be that way. People should not have to sleep on the streets. People should not have to have nowhere to go when they're working a full-time job. This is crazy. And this is California. And this is what the politicians here are making happen. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for spending this time with myself and with Charlie and hearing this message. Remember to share this video, give it a thumbs up if you like it. You know what? If you think homelessness sucks, you can give it a thumbs down, because homelessness does suck. That's for sure, but I'd rather you give it the thumbs up because that helps. So have a good night. Share this video, and we're almost to 10,000 subscribers. Great work. Share this. Invite other people to come along, and let's get the message out. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.